Hello, welcome to my in-depth research presentation. My research topic is titled Understanding Assessments and Their Uses in Early Childhood Education. Within this presentation, we will discuss the common perceptions of assessments, what are assessments in early childhood education, the purpose of assessments, the stakeholders involved in assessments, the views of the stakeholders, how assessments are used with families, the benefits of assessments, the challenges of assessments, conclusions, and questions for you, the viewer. First, let's discuss the common perceptions or misconceptions held about assessments. People often hear assessments and they instantly think about testing in the form of work evaluations, school exams, tests like a driver's test, performance evaluations for work, and tests for a specific job. Next, we will discuss what are assessments in early childhood education. In early childhood education, assessments are much different than the common perceptions that people have. Assessments are used as a tool to continuously evaluate the skills and development of young children. They are used as a guidance for environmental improvements, lesson planning, lesson implementations, and child assistance programs like the Individualized Educational Plan known as IEP. Another use of assessments are as documentation of children's success, as well as documenting areas of concern in children's development and educational skills. Now we will review the purpose of assessments. Assessments are used with a purpose for the betterment of child development and education. The purposes for the uses of assessments are as follows: diagnosis of areas of concern, screenings to see if children need outside assistance like glasses or speech therapy, to monitor the progress of children both in and out of IEPs, to evaluate the status of the environment and create change to support the success of the students, to evaluate the effectiveness of instruction or lessons and create change to support student success. Assessments are used to create education plans to support the development of children. They are used for accountability reporting. They are used to find children who might be at risk of developmental delay or educational failure. There are multiple purposes for assessment in early childhood education. They are all used to benefit the growth, development, and success of young children. Next, we will discuss what stakeholders are involved in assessments in early childhood education. When it comes to assessments, there are key players involved in the use of information that is gathered from assessments. These key players are parents, teachers, specialists, caregivers, program funders, administrators, and the policy board members. Each of these people have an important role in the lives and assessments of young children. Now let's look at the different views of the stakeholders towards the use of assessments. There is a debate about the uses and purposes of assessments in early childhood education. While some believed it is used to gain a better perspective of child development and growth, others believe it is used for accountability and performance measures. Parents, teachers, specialists, and caregivers use assessments as a continuous assessment of growth, development, and progress of children, while program funders, policy board members, government officials, and administrators believe it is a way to gauge the quality of schools, programs, and teachers. They believe that it is used to determine the performance of children and for enforcing accountability of the educational system and those who work for the educational system. Moving on, let's look at how assessments are used with families in early childhood education. When families are concerned, assessments are used in multiple ways. One way is to show parents their child's progress and development throughout the year. This is done at conferences, through discussion, and through scheduled meetings about their child. Another way that assessments are used with families is to alert them when there is an area of concern. This can be either an academic concern or a developmental concern. Once parents are notified, a meeting is scheduled for parents, the child, and the teacher to review the data on assessments and determine a course of action to assist the child in the area of concern. Once a plan is set into place, the teacher then keeps a careful eye on the child's progress through assessment to determine if there needs to be a change in the plan, if the child is progressing towards the goal of the plan, or if there needs to be more steps in place to better assist the child in their developmental progress. Next, let's look at the benefits of assessment. Assessments are an important tool to a teacher. They help the teacher see the development of a child. They are used to determine who might be at risk and who all needs additional support. Assessments provide a whole view of the child and their development, both physically and academically. They are utilized in determining what course of action to take in order to assist children. Assessments are used to individually monitor the progress of each child academically and developmentally. With the use of assessments, teachers are able to determine if the environment and educational lessons are successful or if they need adjustment to better suit the child in their learning. Assessments allow teachers to ensure that each student is obtaining educational success and that they are progressing towards their educational goals. Through assessments, teachers are able to see the developmental progress of each child, providing assistance to those who may not be on track in their development. They are used to ensure that the assistance each child receives is appropriate and keeps children working towards their goal of developmental and academic success. Now let's discuss the challenges of assessments. The first challenge when we look at assessments is the different views that stakeholders involved have about the purpose of assessments. Some individuals think that assessment's purpose is to monitor the progress and development of children, while others look at it as determining the quality of education as a whole. Another challenge of assessment is the opinions of documentation. While some find all documentation important and useful, others would suggest that there is too much documentation and that it is difficult to determine what is and is not useful. Still, some would suggest that a majority of these documentations are unbeneficial for a child's educational goals. The third challenge found concerning assessments is that some would suggest they are biased. Others suggest assessments are used as an unbiased tool, causing a debate in the use of assessments and their validity. The fourth finding of my research uncovered the debate about identification of children in need. Some would suggest that assessments misidentify at-risk children, while the children who are truly at risk go without the support they need. Finally, through my research, I discovered that when children are identified as at risk or having a delay, it can cause strain on parent-teacher relationships. This affects the parents, teachers, and the well-being of the child when there are relationship strains which could affect the success of the child. Next, we will discuss my closing thoughts or conclusions after research. Assessments are an important tool that educators use when working with children. While there are debates on the purpose, use, and effectiveness of assessments, they continue to be successful at identifying those in need of assistance, assisting children, and promoting child success. They provide valuable feedback on the child's development, academic progress, and success of each child individually. The assessment process opens many windows and doors of opportunity for children to succeed. They can help parents and teachers understand the child while building a stronger relationship between them as they work together, promoting the child's success. Assessments are used to create better learning environments and instruction to maximize the children's learning. They are an important fixture in education today, and I believe they will be around assisting children, families, and teachers for a long time. Finally, let's look at some questions for you, the viewer of this presentation. There are 3 questions I have for all of you. They are as follows. 1. With so much conflict, do you think assessments will be used in the future? 2. In light of the documentational uses debate, do you think that there will be changes in what counts and does not count in childhood documentation? 3. With the varying views of the purpose of assessments, do you think that these views will change over time or will they stay separate with no middle ground? I would like to take this time to thank you for viewing my in-depth research presentation. Thank you.